to tee line.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick out this wide.
So more than draw the button.
Yeah.
Okay.
4 national championships, 1 world title, and that came in 2008.
Line's good.
Line's good.
All you. Line
Skip
only
stones
right
here
now.
in the first.
Room. Room. Wait only. We're way out there.
It's sliding a little.
No then.
Line's great. No, it's good. Top
Line's
8.
perfect.
Full 8.
Yep. Yep. Hard. Hard. Hard.
Lovely shot for what it was she thought would be a guess.
Nice, Jen.
Just nibbling at the top 4 to sit 3 without last rock here in the first.
It really is a guess in this situation, and all 4 were committed to knowing it was going to be a hair slower than practice, so out a little wider. They thought it was a hair deep. It came down like they expected, and they walked that right to the perfect spot.
That finished nicely.
It did, yeah. It was hang.
That's really the difference in my mind between a good team and a great team is picking up on that ice. And sometimes you have to make a guess, a judgment. And in this case, they guessed perfectly, and it couldn't be in a better spot.
It's big trouble, so it's bailout time. Try to run that guard in.
Maria has been with Margareta for a long time as that silver medal comes back, goes back to 2002. Running this back and will drive it through the hole. And then that stone rolls over just maybe a little overlap.
A little unlucky there, just misses that second yellow right there.
That's pretty good too. It makes her draw harder. I think that's
Yeah.
better. Same spot I just had it.
I like
Really,
it.
eh?
Yep.
Same ice.
You got it, Jen.
What a great start for Jennifer, and the shot they're playing is going to force a draw. That's
Basically
the
the same
attempt, and
spot
we
we
just
just had
finished
it.
saying that
Okay.
Maria Pritz is a great hitter, but doesn't like to draw, so it's a perfect chance to force a tough shot on the opposition.
Now, would you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
How much? 2
No,
feet?
a couple feet, yeah.
Like, I think I could almost throw a little less because I can't be deep.
Okay.
You guys could sweep it. You didn't
Yeah.
sweep it that much, right?
Yeah.
Is that the kind of scouting then, Linda, you would do? And would that affect your game plan if you are Jones or anybody playing Sigvardsson? Realizing Pritz doesn't like to draw, would you love to if you could? And then your game plan allows you to get as many rocks in position to make her draw?
Definitely late in the end, you want to be forcing that position. This is the perfect example. They got the mistake, so Jennifer's team didn't have to do anything risky, and now they can put a rock in a position that forces the last rock thrower in the other team to play a shot they do not like.
A little bit more. Hard! A little more.
Hard for line!
Very nice, Jen.
Good. Good fair, Jen. Good, yeah. I'd say yes, because I definitely felt like I less, yeah.
Well, they brought it in so deep,
there
there isn't really a lot of choice here.
You could try the out-turn draw through that small pore, but it's so dangerous. You tick something, you give up 3.
It is a little odd. I mentioned that all 3 games this morning, the world team has the last rock. And only Brad Jacobs last night against Nicholas Aden won the draw to the button for the last rock in the first end. So 11 of 12 so far have gone to Team World.
So important in an 8-end game. Look at this situation here. You're pretty happy to have last rock right now.
Maria Pritz, Bertrup, Vennerstrom. Sigvardsson calling line, run it back, and not enough. And so it will be 1 and 2, and a terrific start for Jennifer Jones. We'll get a couple here in the first. Two other games on the ice on this Friday morning, day 2. Representing Team World is Satsuki Fujisawa from Kurosawa. She goes against the reigning Canadian champion, Rachel Homan. Nicholas Aden trying to bounce back after a loss last night, playing John Schuster from Duluth, and he will represent the U.S. So let's go over and check in on that. Again, the World team having the last rock in each of the games. And here, this is the 22-year-old from Hokkaido. She went 5-6 last year at the Worlds in Riga, Latvia. One of the up-and-coming Asian teams. Won a silver medal at the Pacifics. And Satsuki Fujisawa drawing against 1, 2, and even a possible third here. So she needs a piece of the 4. Nicely done to pick up the single point and a 1-0 lead for Team World. Right in the middle, sandwiched in between the two women's games, Nicholas Aden against John Schuster. 1, 2, sitting 2. That's Schuster, Duluth, Minnesota. Schuster went 2-7 in Vancouver. Won a bronze medal in 2006 when he played with Pete Fenson. That was your year, of course, Russ, in Torino. And that will result, that stone right there on the edge of the 8. Aden will pick up the single and a 1-0 lead as we welcome you back to the Orleans Arena. Here in Las Vegas, day 2, the Continental Cup. And Team North America, Jennifer Jones with the steal of 2. And once again, it'll be Team World, Margareta Sigfridsson from Skellefteå in Sweden, in the northeastern part of Sweden. They will once again have the last rock playing the Redstones.
Similar start to last end with the first one in the button area. Oh, nice little hit there. Corner guard, and there's the hit that leaves the one in the back. That's no problem to leave it back there, and the shooter stays at the front. If we just think back to the last end, Vic, we were talking about when Margareta Sigfridsson could make a different play, when she should push the aggressive play and when she should pull back. Well, Russ and I were chatting, and it was that moment, the third's last rock, that ended up coming up short that could have been a hit. That's that moment where you have to read your team, read the situation. They did get a nice roll. Things were setting up, but it wasn't perfect at that moment. So sometimes it's first end, you have to take your lumps, play a hit, know you'll leave your last rock thrower the shot she prefers, which is the hit, and not a run back and not a double, which what she ended up having to play, and then move to the next end and see if you can do a better situation.
Yeah, great point. Just they tried to freeze in a spot they hadn't thrown any rocks, or it's slower. They wrecked in the guard and got in all kinds of trouble. The nose hit, and then it puts the pressure on Jones's team to roll somewhere, not to set up a double and give up a deuce.
Well, this is a great scenario. If we're talking about a team that's struggling a bit, wants it a little more open, the hit that was just made by the Jones team rolls away, so room now to go behind the corner for Maria.
Maria Wennerstrom, the 28-year-old. This Sigfridsson team is the reigning Euro champion, having won that in the European Championship before Christmas. And as you mentioned, Linda, yesterday, it is a big event. It, for all intents and purposes, is a mini Worlds because we don't have, granted, North American teams and Asian teams, but the experience of those European teams, the depth of European teams is very good.
And it's a massive event. It has a B pool, and teams can move up from the B pool to the A pool. So it's a great training ground for those teams that aren't at the top. For those who are, like Sigfridsson, it's a chance to play in that event to prime and get ready for the Worlds, and in this case, the Olympics. Nice come around there by Sigfridsson's team.
Okay, whoa, right on the nose, whoa.
So we mentioned the back-to-back silver medals for this lady, Margareta Sigfridsson, but she also has that one in 2002. She was a skip then, but maybe she really got comfortable at the lead position in 2009. She threw the lead stones there for Annette Norberg and won a silver medal. So 4 silvers so far for Sigfridsson, and then she elected to stay at the lead position, but at the same time skip the team.
One of the only simple ends we've seen this week so far, and it's although the Jones team is sitting 3, there's lots of opportunity to create one little error, one tick on a guard, and get your simple deuce.
The nose hit by the Jones team made the come around on the corner tougher. That's why the Sigfridsson team elected to come the other way, use the Yellowstone at the top of the house and the one at the back as protection. Looks like that one is second shot.
What's a 14? Top button. Okay. Even a little higher, top 4.
Okay. What did you
threw 14.
Okay, so that's pretty good then.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just be in that top 8, kind of top 4 line.
Got lots of room.
Caitlin Laws, who you said played very well in the mixed doubles event yesterday, teaming up with Jeff Stoughton.
It's a funny ending to that game, Linda. We talked about it quite a bit after it was over. The world team just threw up a guard and said, Caitlin, see if you can draw the 8-foot. And for Caitlin Laws, that's not the hardest shot in the world. Mind you, she had to go about 6 inches wider than they'd been, and the rock did come down, and it was incredible brushing from Skip Jeff Stoughton that managed to get that in there.
I think she did a little bit of it as well.
That's
it was
true.
The two of them teamed up to get that one in there.
But a pressure shot. She had, she skipped for years in junior, but not for a while lately. And it's a different feeling sitting there with the game riding on your last shot.
Christina Bertrup as we play third stones. And now trying to roll it over and in behind a little bit more, and not quite. It'll sit there for shot stone edge of the 4. Could you have ignored that and just tried to draw there?
You could, but I think what they're trying to do is draw that red one at the back of the 12-foot back into the play to be on the scoreboard. So they're hoping for one error out of Team Jones, get that top one that Caitlin just threw and score your 2.
It also frees up the corner side, depending on what happens over here. If there's still an opportunity to get something in behind the corner, that might work.
McEwen, an officer. Looking for that put behind, and will bang it right on the nose. To Aden and Schuster, after Nicholas Aden scored the single in the first for John Schuster, the 31-year-old out of the Duluth, Minnesota Curling Club, will represent the U.S. Front end of Jared Zezel, John Landsteiner, and Jeff Isaacson. And he'll make the hit, and that will be 1 to even it. Schuster looked very impressive last night in a 5-3 win over David Murdoch, who will represent Great Britain.
Trying the double.
1 and 2, got them both.
And there's that reasoning we talked about, Vic, by getting that corner one and rolling over, grouping the rocks together, it allowed them to, Caitlin couldn't roll away, allowed the double, and just perfectly thrown. Now sitting the 2.
Roll behind ours. Okay. Double is there, but everyone miss it way down. That's really not great. Okay. I thought Caitlin was a little bit soft on hers. Okay. I've got the same ice, so let's go.
There's a little encouragement from Jill. It's also to get Jennifer to stop thinking about the ice. Jennifer was explaining the ice there. You want her to stop thinking about that, get into performance mode and throwing. So there's that little let's go.
And here she goes. Skip Stone's in the second. Jones leading 2-0 after the steal of a couple. And once again, opposite. McEwen. There's the line call. Anything they got? Nothing. Bangs it right on the beak.
I didn't get it.
They caught by the ice a little bit there, do you think?
I think she hit the broom, so they were kind of in love with the line all the way down, but it was a hair lighter, and it started to curl over. Yeah, just fooled a little bit.
Chansen, eller tar den lite tunn och trycka bort den där. Tycker kanske det är bättre. Ja, jag är inte säker på att chappen räcker.
Man behöver inte slå bort den, bara få stöd.
Ja, precis. Vi la ganska tunt här då, så jag tror att den far. Den ligger en sån där bit in. Ja. Vad vill du spela för fart?
Much better looking house for the person throwing last. It's open if you need it, but a chance here to hit and sit 2. So probably a lot more confident feeling in Maria's head as she's looking at that situation. Jennifer couldn't get the roll.
Yep.
Nice with the catcher here too. You can take liberties on the high side here where the broom is, hit half a rock and still sit 2 off the side yellow.
Andra kanske rör sig lite. Ja. Lite. Kom med! 95! Vänta! 95! Kolla! Ja! Bra Liv. Ja, fint Maria. Härligt!
It's cool. No, it's not close, Vic. I was going to say it's close, and then I opened my eyes, and it's right now.
You know, you could have finished the sentence a different way. It's close to being a chance for 2, or but just you got caught there.
I did.
There's no way to bail out of that one.
No, not at all. I'm wrong. So Team World is sitting the 2.
And this is exactly what we talked about coming over here. There's different ways to get the 2 as opposed to having 16 rocks in play. And they're really simple and no tough shots at all for Team Sweden. And unless Jennifer can run this back and make the double, chance for 2.
More to Sigurdsson's liking, obviously, Linda, but a better end in terms of her strategy?
I think so. I think you look at that first end, you couldn't do that again.
No.
So looking to get the deuce right back. Line call here. This is something that Caitlin Laws has done very well. How's that? Got them both. Caitlin Laws, that is maybe the biggest improvement to my mind. Her game is the line call. Over to Shide and Rachel Homan sitting 1. Possibly the deuce. That one up on the edge of the 8. We'll have to see who's second shot. The reigning Canadian champion will wear the Maple Leaf, Team Canada, at the Scotties in Montreal. Out of the Ottawa Curling Club. Front end of Alison Kreviasik, Lisa Weigel, Emma Miskew.
Sit down. Should be okay. Yeah. Good.
As we watch the final stone for Maria Pritz. And she'll get the blank there. And Homan gets the deuce to take a 2-1 lead on Shide.
Yeah, they threw all their draws.
You won't miss a thing. We are in Las Vegas on a Friday morning.
Pistol Jen. Beauties. You guys tell, like it looked like it all of a sudden was going to curl a little bit. Yeah. And it kind of. Judge.
We're in Las Vegas as our season of champions continues, but February the 1st we'll be in Montreal for the start of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts, our opening game, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and Rachel Homan will be there, the defending Canadian champion. She'll be Team Canada, of course, opening against Manitoba. And Chelsea Carey, congratulations to Chelsea and her team for winning the Manitoba Playdowns. At Maurice Richard Arena, mentioned yesterday, very convenient if you're staying anywhere in Montreal. If you're staying downtown, you can just take the metro out to the VO station and just walk a short distance north on VO.
How far do we walk?
Not very far, actually. No,
and what's the scenery like?
It's well, it's all part of that complex. The with the Olympic Stadium is there, and then
Very
towards
nice.
the north is Saputo Stadium.
Oh, lovely.
And no, it's really convenient.
Do you hire out as the tour guide?
You can find me. Wouldn't that's funny.
That would be.
I'm out there standing beside the Maurice Richard statue.
We're in
Yeah.
here.
Welcome back to.
With the umbrella up.
That's right. Yeah.
She did.
I played tour guide the other day for Russ. And,
Oh, yes.
That's right. That was great. 2 days in a row, really.
yeah.
Showed us all around the strip and out to Red Rocks.
Don't. We never went to the strip.
The
okay?
strip,
That's
okay.
right. Just don't tell anybody that.
What happens in Vegas?
Yeah, yeah.
So the blank in 2 means that once again, Team World will have the last rock. Here in the 3rd, playing the Redstones. Wonderful shot by Jennifer Jones with her last to make the double.
10-15. Kör det. On the nose.
10, 20, 11.
Well, one of the places we visited was the Hoover Dam and the Colorado River.
That was a talking tour Vic gave us there, Linda.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Well, that bridge is just opened in the last year. That was a wonderful engineering feat to build that across, because before that, everyone used to have to, trucks, cars, used to have to come down the winding road and then go across the top of the dam. Now there's that bypass. You can still get down there. They call it the O'Callaghan Pat Tillman Bridge, named in honor of Pat Tillman. Pat Tillman, the former NFL player that died in, I believe it was Iraq. The bridge does shake though, Russ.
Oh, that was unbelievable. You're right by the traffic and you don't realize it until a big semi goes by and yep, yeah, it does shake.
Cried like a baby. Can't believe it. The gold medal winner was just thought it was over. No, yeah, it does. That's remarkable. They build that into it. Maria Wennerstrom trying to come around and can't.
Still struggling with that draw. Wade, another good start to the end. It opened it up with a nice tap with Margretta's own stones and have a chance with the corner guard to get something buried and just can't get it into position.
Yeah, this one's biting.
Is it bad to stick around? Or no?
Here?
No, like hit and roll, I mean.
Oh, hit and roll. It's just that then it's a guard for this one.
Okay.
I just think we peel it. Hey, Joe.
Jennifer's a brilliant skip in my mind. She thinks it out from about 9 different angles. And what she's saying is you don't have to hang around here. We're up 2. We have 2 in the rings. At this point in time, if we alternate shots, it's a force. That's exactly what you're trying to do. So don't complicate it. Make it go away, roll away.
And Jill Officer does just that.
Yeah, not bad. It's a little over, I think. But yeah, it looks nice.
I mean, that's the difference, Linda, at this level as compared to the club curler. I mean, we're going in again, right? We're just going in.
You're trying.
We're trying to get in.
Yeah.
Thanks. We're trying to go in again. Just hit the paint somewhere, please, or go behind that corner. Right, trying to do something or use a little overlap as protection.
I really have never seen Jill throw those better. She said something to Caitlin about coming over the top. That meant she thought she put it inside a little bit, but I think that throw with the arm extension is beautiful right now.
She can throw it as hard as any female curler I've ever seen, but she's taken a little off of that shot, which I love. It used to be all out or nothing, and that little extra extension, it was a little wide here, a little narrow there. Now they're just incredible throws, easy to read, and that makes Jennifer Jones a better ice reader too.
That's fine. Back weight. Caitlin.
Can I have a hair more? No?
Wonder where they're from. Lovely. Very nice. Yes, the Canadians have taken over Las Vegas. It's this Continental Cup has been so far a remarkable success. Congratulations to all the organizers, the city of Las Vegas.
Yep, Ian Wall.
The state lieutenant governor has been a big supporter.
Just hack? Yes, okay. No, it's heavy. No!
So slow.
Heavy.
Sorry. It's not bad.
That's fine.
She just look really slow in the... Sorry, Caitlin.
As a brusher, you have to think of a lot more things than it used to be. But because the rocks curl so much, or that big rotation that you saw out of Caitlin Laws allows that rock to glide with less friction. It's going to run a wee bit straighter than you expect. Comes another one. Look at the rotation here. This is going to be about 4.5 rotations by the time it stops. There's 2 full rotations.
They did the switch to put the brusher on the right a little closer, thinking that gets a little more curl because it needs some curl. It also needs some speed here.
Virtually 5 revolutions there.
Not buried. There is a chance to make a play on it.
Yeah, I'll give you a little less weight.
Whoa! Not the same. No, off.
Same weight.
Right off. Little less. Here, right off. Quite a bit less, actually. Oh, you gotta go on the red, Jill. Quite a bit less. Gotta go on the red. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Go, go, go. Go, 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 go. Okay. Good.
You'd have to push it out the back.
Yep.
Checking in on Nicholas Aden against John Schuster in a 1-1 tie. And a chance here for Aden with a little quiet tap back weight. If he can squeeze it by his own at the back of the 8, might pick up a couple, 3 possibly. Aden out of Karlstad, the reigning world champion, won it in Victoria last spring, beating Brad Jacobs. And squeezes it by, and there they are, 1, 2, and 3. Aden and Team World.
I keep waiting for this team to light it up, this Aden team. They were really good in Vancouver, and their resume is getting better and better and better. But this year, for whatever reason, they're just not firing on all 8 cylinders.
And speaking of that, the last draw just needed to be somewhere in the 12-foot or 8-foot. Goes through for Sigfridson's team.
Full 8x4.
Christina also doesn't have the feel. I talked about Maria Pritz struggling for draw weight, and this team is just all over the map right now.
The only one I threw was that out turn, so. Yeah,
I don't think that Volvo or Saab actually make an 8, so it's probably around a 4 or 6 cylinder.
Energy conscious. Oh, thanks, Vex.
Just a little bit more.
You know, good tour guide, Linda. He took us to Red Rocks, but he never even once took us to Yellow Rocks. Like,
very good. Wow. Too much sleep, Mr. Howard, really.
Hey, line's good. You got room?
Got the colors right anyway.
well, finally, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Thanks, Linda.
Better than I was last week.
Gotta move a bit. Line's great.
How you could mistake blue for red, I have no idea. Trying to wrap it around here, this stone top of the 12 center line, drag it back, take it as far as they can. Oh, and she'll get it all. She'll cover the pin.
It was sliding night, so I was a little.
Well, she's a different lady today,
Sorry,
Jennifer
my
Jones.
fault.
No kidding.
I think she's playing the double though.
Yeah.
And to me, that's concentration. You know, the first game, like I said before, the rust, the month off, the emotional victory of winning the Olympic trials. And you just, your brain goes into neutral. At least mine did many times. And you have to be fired up. You have to be really at the top of your concentration level all the time at this level to win. They just didn't bring that yesterday.
The first thing that escapes you, too, after a break is the feel. And even when the broom was in the right spot, the team yesterday didn't have that feel. So it was a combination of a lot of things, but looked like a totally different team today. And it's Maria Pritz and her team that continues to struggle and back to having to play a tough shot, in this case a double.
Is this her strength, however, for Maria?
It is, but you don't want to have to play it end after end, Vic, and you're already down 2.
And we'll run it by.
Okay, Maria.
Not good, because good luck outdrawing that one.
Full 12. Fight the 8 even. Well, no, actually, just full 12. We don't really want to give her a double to
Jennifer
score,
was
right?
telling
Making
us
a bite,
yesterday
like a
that
tight guard, she's gotta move it, right?
the team will go home for a short while, and then they'll go off to
Sliding nice here, actually.
Smith Falls outside of Ottawa, where the Ontario men's tankard is going to be played. They've been given permission to use the ice there, so they'll train on some arena ice. And then from there, they'll go off to Switzerland for a mini training camp before catching a ride with the national ski team. And then off to Sochi for the Olympics.
A little bit tighter line. Okay, tight right now. Okay, keep it
going, guys.
So bad. Right center only, you know.
Keep her going, yep.
Whoa, you're gonna overcurl.
Clean.
Just keep it broomed out.
Just clean, whoa.
Rachel
whoa,
Homan
whoa.
keeping some pressure on Team World, and Kurosawa skip
Sorry, guys.
Satsuki Fujisawa
Pretty good.
sitting 2 covered, so this is a cold draw. And from that quick look at the house, it looks like she needs a piece of the button, drawing against a couple. Again, went 5 and 6 a year ago in her first appearance at the Worlds. And she needs a good chunk of it. And how's that? One it is, very nice. Satsuki Fujisawa to tie it at 2.
That was a lovely draw, and somehow Maria Pritz needs to find that kind of magic. She has to move the stone. It's at the top of the button to get shot rock.
Right now it is the Jones team, North America sitting the 3. Bertrup on the left, Vennerstrom on the right. And this has got to move and move very quickly. And she'll glance off and now spin and spin and spin out the back. Jones will steal again, 3 here in the 3rd. Maria Pritz doesn't have the touch this morning. Oh my. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. People from right across the country have come here to Las Vegas for this year's Continental Cup. And when you talk about a key shot, it's hard to believe. We mentioned this is not the same Jennifer Jones as we saw against Eve Muirhead.
They're back in gear, no question about it. We expected it, but you never really know if when you lose that badly by 10 points, can you rebound? Yes, you can. Unbelievable speed control right from the get-go with Jennifer. Too perfect in the first end. No better than this one, right on the lid.
And results in a steal of 3. The key shot brought to you by Sponge Towels, Paper Towels, nothing absorbs like it. Here at the Orleans Arena. It's the home of the Las Vegas Wranglers of the East Coast Hockey League. But this year, this week it's curling that has taken over the ice. So it's a 5-0 lead. And here in the fourth, once again, it'll be Team World and Margareta Sigfridsson that does have the last rock playing the Red Stones.
We were talking in the break about that very last stone of Maria Pritz's and how both of us feel over the course of the 2 days we've been watching this team, but also in the past, that Margareta Sigfridsson doesn't adjust the ice. That last stone in the last end was heavy. Yes, it was. It was more than tap weight, more than they wanted. However, it seems time after time that's what you're getting from this last rock thrower. So you can't call draw ice and expect that shot to get made.
Well, you had to bump it too, so it wasn't going to be a draw, and you have to know your player. And it was almost enough ice that you could freeze to it, and it had to be deeper than that. And anything more than maybe back 4, they had way too much ice in that shot.
Now, Sigfridsson was on the ice last evening against Rachel Homan and jumped out to a 3-1 lead. But then, Linda, Homan got 2 and 5, stole 2 and 6, and then stole 1 more in 8. And what have we seen today? Steals of 2 and 3 by Jones.
Yeah, Maria is not playing her best. So what's the adjustment? The second end in this game was actually very well played. If it hadn't been a steal in the first end, Margareta would have gotten that blank, would have been fine. Things would have been cruising along and have your chance. Set up, didn't work in the second end. You got a blank, that's okay, but you've still got to give your team some chances to get some shots in the right position. Oh, wow. You may not win against the Jones team today, but at least you're going to have a better chance to score. Beauty by Jill.
That's what she does so well.
Wonderful call by the skipper, too, to just be sharp enough to get the brooms on that, carry them off thin and make that double. The original call was just a peel, and Jill threw it a little wide, and skipper turned it into a double. A great call.
Would you agree, Linda, that with Jill's ability at the second position, we've seen other teams now try to emulate that kind of team dynamic, trying to find that person, trying to be able to have a second with the upweight?
I think in every team you need a full amount of skill sets. You need the lead that can play like Dawn McEwen, set up the draws and angles, and definitely the second position and even the third position. They're looking for people that can throw the up weight. And now with the arm extension that's being taught, you don't have to kick out quite as hard to still get big weight and be accurate. So it's definitely a skill that you need at the second and probably even the third position at the very top level.
Here's the reason I asked that, Russ, is because when something is successful, and Jones has been successful, other teams will go, well, maybe that's what we should be doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just thought maybe then it was the 3 that was actually a little bit fudgy as opposed to the...
I think it's for sure the 4.
Okay.
This is the other thing, too. All the players on the team are into the game.
Oh, yeah.
They know the stones as well as the skipper just might.
Exactly, and that gives everybody the confidence. You know, don't forget on it, when Jennifer's got to draw the forfeit to win or lose a game, for 24 seconds, it's in the hands of the front end.
This one might have a little heat on it.
Yeah, taking almost 0 ice here.
Second straight year that these two teams have played in the Continental Cup. Last year's game ended in a 6-6 tie, and they split the point.
Saw the angle perfectly, knew it would go over top of shot stone, just leaves the one rock in the ring, so several options. A freeze or a come around on the one in the house means you can use it. This looks like freeze ice.
We just watch our freeze disappear in a hurry, so the come around I think would be, not that it's an easy shot because you play that deep weight and you go right through and then you're in trouble, but you could get this buried back 12 and make the shot a little tougher. So difficult. The speed's not the problem because the ice is so good, the brushing's so good, but can you lock that dead on line?
Pretty nice weight, but the line is off.
I don't mind the nose. Okay. Here. Whoa, whoa. Little big. Clean. Whoa. Little big. Clean. Whoa. Pretty good, actually. Hey, yeah. Whoa. Whoa. Off. Sit. Very nice. Nice throw, Jill.
Thanks.
That is
I thought I
6-17.
slid a little tight, but that's okay for
Absolutely.
having to throw it.
Yeah.
Seems like a little thing, but lining those up is crucial because if they were staggered a little bit, Sweden goes right around to the back 8, back 12, you can't raise it.
Christina Bertrup. She spent some time playing with Elizabeth Gustafsson.
Okay.
There's been an amazing history from Sweden of great teams. It started with Elizabeth Hagström, then Elizabeth Gustafsson, and then Annette Norberg, and now you have Sigfridsson. And year after year, these teams from Sweden are at the very top of their game. Now, we've already mentioned the fact that the one best team in the country like Sweden does get supported, does go to European Championships, World Championships, and Olympics, so has more chances to hone their game and get better and better. But Sweden is a great example of a good program that continually puts out great teams.
And all of it, of course, under the direction of the three-time world champion, Pia Lindholm.
Yep. Whoa. Very nice. Good. Hey, Kayla. Ah.
So the last 2 years, Margareta Sigfridsson has won the silver medal. And it's when you look back to the last, or the only world championship of Jennifer Jones, it comes way back in 2008. What surprises me from China, Binghu Wang, Andrea Schopp, Swift Current, I believe, Norberg, Ott, Muirhead, the number of countries. There's been no domination, no back-to-backs.
No, it's really, in women's play, it's very, very difficult. If you look at the Bonspiel circuit and the money winnings, on the women's side, there are very few Canadian teams in the top 10, and it's a wide variety of teams from around the world that are successful in those events as well. Women's play right now is tough. It is tough to win and definitely tough to be dominant. That young lady probably is going to show us that in the future, there could be Scotland on the top of the game. Eve Muirhead, definitely one of the most successful players at her young age. All those juniors and now a women's worlds.
She missed one junior championship, and that's because she was at the Olympics playing in the adult group, and started off a little 98% yesterday. Wow.
Than the middle. Yeah, it'll finish.
Yeah, you're right. Do you like 12, top 12, or do you like open?
No, I like open.
Yeah.
Do
you like top 12 better? Whether you want to force or she probably freezes the one on center. Yeah. And then I guard. It's just a question of how to get the guard there. That's all.
Yeah. My thought was to go open, Jen. But
okay. Top 4 line. Okay. Speed should be close. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're just learning the game as this young skip, you could just, the sound bites from this team is incredible. They just think of everything.
move a bit if you can.
Looks like it's
Make sure you're top 4 though.
Looks like
Love
it's
to
running a bit.
keep these exactly the same distance from the tee line. No double.
Even.
No. Oh, this one has to be higher, but I think
This one's pretty good.
Sit. 14. Fine, Jen. Sorry.
Slid nicer.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Sorry. That's fine. Sorry, Jen.
Rachel Homan from Ottawa, representing Team North America. Satsuki Fujisawa from Kurosawa and Team World.
Can't hurt it.
And it is the Japanese skip that is sitting the 2. One is at the back edge of the 4, one top of the 12. Final stone for Homan to take the lead going to the break.
Can't hurt it. Hop in the floor, guys.
Come on, Allie. Keep going. Great sweep. Good job, guys.
Well done by Alison Kreviasik and Lisa Weigel on the front end to take a 3-2 lead.
Skuren, Maggan.
I think that Maria felt something under the stone. Yeah, she felt it. She said something as she was sliding, which she doesn't normally say, and that has picked early. Doesn't look like it'll even make the hog line. What a shame.
It's the only good news it didn't get over. If it gets over, it would have been even more problematic.
Okay. Yeah, she's pretty good here. Okay.
Oh, you hate to see that.
Well, that's just further emphasis that she has no touch today, right?
No,
Or did it catch?
It grabbed.
Oh, I apologize. I'm
Under,
sorry. I thought she
under
was
the stone as she was sliding out,
I'm
you couldn't
sorry.
free it up. That's a bad break. There are days when nothing goes right, and I
Yeah.
guess today is that day.
It's the day.
Jennifer Jones is pushing them, and the Jones team is playing so well, but Sigfridson's team is struggling with everything now.
Straight guard here. Maybe
Line's great.
keep it on the center line side a little bit to choke off the potential come around
Move a
draw.
bit.
Invite the 8.
Top 12 maybe.
Line's great.
Hard.
Love to just get it in the circle somewhere, top 12.
Hard.
Little more. Get a bite. Get a bite.
Hard.
Get a bite.
That's good. Good.
That's good. Nice, Jen.
Good.
That's the perfect guard in that situation because the in-turn draw was going to be the shot that would possibly be played here, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So they put the guard on that side to make the team go out a little wider for this draw by Maria. And it's slightly wider than any of the paths they've been playing on. Could be slower. Most teams would try to guard that perfectly, and there'd be that much more room to make the shot.
So it's a draw against 3, final stone. Trailing 5-0. Maria Pritz.
No, that's not a good sign. The brushers immediately said it was long.
Yeah, wow, this is trouble.
She has struggled, and those struggles continue. 1, 2, and 3 more. So it's 8-0 through 4, and all of the points stolen. Jennifer Jones, Maria Pritz. We are in Las Vegas. It's day 2 of the Continental Cup. And Jennifer Jones tuning up for Sochi and looking very good so far. Maybe we'll see some of these players on the ice. Will we see Brad Jacobs there in the middle, Jeff Stoughton on the far end? That's when we join you again at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be the singles competition. Always look forward to that. And from Sheet C, where Jennifer Jones is dominating, we're going to go across the Orleans Arena to Sheet A and turn our attention to the game between Rachel Homan, the reigning Canadian champion out of Ottawa, and Satsuki Fujisawa from the Kurosawa Curling Club in Japan. And as we pick up play here in 5 of this 8-end game, it is 3-2. Homan leading after she made that nice draw against a couple in the 4th to score the single. She has the lead, and here in this 5th, it is Fujisawa that does have the last rock, playing the Redstones.
You can see the guards were positioned earlier in this end, but since then, Japan has pulled back a bit. Suzuki's been playing hits and rolls, sort of contrast to what we were talking about with Sweden. And Margrethe Sigfridsson, the team representing World on the game we started with, where she cluttered things. They have, on this case, tried to keep it a little simpler and generate their deuce with the hits and rolls.
Yeah, totally different concept. Defensive team for sure in Japan, but they're good at it. They can throw the up weight. It's amazing how hard they can throw it. Lots of rotation, great technique, good deliveries. And you see it here, slightly bent throwing arm, good rotation. It's easy to read. It's much better for the skip to get that broom in the right spot.
Not able to sneak it by. I know that you've spent some time in Japan, Russ. Draw some comparisons, because I really do think we go back to those early days of Bingyu Wang and the development, very quick development of the Chinese. Japan actually played the game before China, but seemed to go into a bit of a low period. What are they doing now that has given them them hope in the game?
I think what they've done differently than any country is Canada, we're amateurs trying to become professionals. Like, we've got day jobs and we go off and try to curl on weekends, and some of the teams have more relaxed jobs than others, and you know, you could call them pros, I guess, whereas China, Korea, you know, Scotland system, Sweden, you know, they're picking a team or two teams and say, this is it, you're a pro, you're going curling, fly over to Canada and get good. There's a blend here with Japan, I think, and what I like about it is a wonderful big company hires the team, 2, 3, maybe all 4 players, and said, look, you work 4 hours a day, maybe 3 or 4 days a week at my company, and we will invest in you, and then the rest of the time they curl. And it's a neat system because they're doing a little bit of both, and there's a lot of teams on that system. The team I work with is improving like you wouldn't believe, and they're working hard at it.
Yeah, in fact, it's a Chubu Electric, where all 4 players of this Japanese team are office workers. But that is, in fact, the system. Many of all sports are sponsored by major corporations.
Draw or open it up? This is not the team going to the Olympics. This was the team at the Worlds last year. They lost the playoff for the Olympics to Ayumi Ogasawara. And so 2 very strong teams right there, Russ, before we go any further with their development.
Yeah, exactly. And they're working on their format now, and trying to get more exposure to the Canadian game, and it's going to pay off. It really is. And they work really hard at it. Tori's team that I work with, it's unbelievable. We fly over there, and it's a 13-hour day, and they want to learn non-stop. Yeah, I know.
I'm looking at you.
Exactly.
I know you don't like the 3 draws a day here.
have to bring you over and spell me off. They really want to learn. I love it. It's great. It's refreshing to see teams that they just want to get better. Oh, big rotation here. I'm not sure this will curl enough. We haven't been on the sheet for a while, but it was pretty straight day one.
Right down to it on top. Remembering now it is the World and Fujisawa that does have the last rock.
Well, you mentioned it. Technically, these teams from Asia, because of their work ethic, are so strong, and that gives consistency. And even with the big rotation, with these stones that have so much curl, you're going to get curl. And the skip, Satsuki in this case, knows every time what she's getting.
Exactly. And I love that call. The teams that came over to play Canada, not necessarily Japan, just about anywhere, you're intimidated for a while. You're playing the great Rachel Homan here, the Jennifer Jones, and you tend to play your strategy scared that you want to hit everything in sight, and they were so defensive, good at it, mind you, but at some point in time you have to force a great player like Rachel Homan to a tough shot, and they've just done that.
And can't follow down the team sometimes. We don't always get the same read from your stones, and a little strong, a little too much ice, and that goes by.
So, just to give you an idea, you were mentioning earlier how good the women's game has become. Look at the money leaders on the World Curling Tour. Jennifer Jones, #1. Rachel Homan, #4. But everyone else, including 3 from Switzerland, Eve Muirhead's in there, Bingyu Wang, Anna Sidorova. You know, Sidorova, Wang, we'll see them at the, they'll be at the Olympics. It's, they have come to Canada and are playing on the tour, and particularly in a pre-Olympic year. But it just shows how close the women's game has become.
And the men on the Bonspiel circuit, it is the opposite. The Canadian teams are still dominating. But in the women's side, it is very tough.
What a wonderful chance because of the aggressive call. I love it. If you loop this in buried, it's a chance for a potential 3.
Matsumura on the left, Shimizu, and then Ichikawa out as well, and they'll get it there. Shot stone back. Second shot is the Homan stone back edge of the 4-foot. So just a little light.
Can Rachel see enough of this to hit it this way? The top red one will glance off that way. If Rachel gets lucky, she can peel off the yellow one, maybe redirect it this way. That's all I see for the double at this point. You could also go the other way. You could come down this way, off your own, run it in that way. If you stick it, you could potentially steal one.
Timeout has been called, and so Rick Lang will come to the ice.
Do you like the send-off?
Pardon me?
Do you like the send-off?
How much? It's wide open, fully available to do that?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be anywhere near to make that, eh?
Sorry?
What's the option, of course, with a guard?
Well, if we guard it, she still has other shots. Like, she could still come off it or tap it or draw. So it's...
Even if we hit and roll in, it's still a tougher shot for her.
And if you get nothing out of this, she's just bumping for 2?
Yeah.
Which isn't the end of the world, right?
Yeah.
It's worth it.
I think so.
Do you like it?
Yeah. It's hard. Yeah. I mean,
like say rolling in is really
like
nice.
I've got to paper the red. That's the only thing.
I don't. Even if you don't paper it, you're gonna roll it.
Yeah.
It's hard to hit nose.
I like it.
Okay.
Make it.
Well thought out. They're only Japan's only lane 1, so hit and roll in shrinks the scoring area. If you roll perfect, you might even steal.
Thanks, Coach.
That overhead sort of tightens up the guards, the hole. It's not that small a hole, is it? I mean, there's lots of room.
And this is an outturn that Rachel's throwing. Look at the ice. Pretty sure it's an outturn. It's tight ice for an intern. So Rachel, as we know, we've watched her for a long time now. She'll back this up a little bit.
Oh, no.
Close.
Final stone, Rachel Homan. Kraviancic, Weagle, miscue, line call, come across, bump it through to sit 2.
When we talk about weapons, that release is a weapon. It has been costly at times for Rachel when she's not careful with it, when she doesn't have a good feel for where to put the broom. But that in-out release, she goes so straight with that rock, and that's a great way to make an in-off.
I didn't think we'd have to swing it.
That's about 8 inches less ice than the average curler would take, but so what, right? You've got to know how to ice yourself, and a brilliant shot.
And again, for her, Rachel Homan and the team, slow start yesterday against Sigfridsson, comes back. It's an important win when you consider they were coming off the disappointment of the curling trials, the opportunity to go to the Olympics. Now they have to gear up and get their game in shape for the Scotties in Montreal.
This is not a pretty look from the hack end. You saw a little pause there by Satsuki. It is 2 that Rachel is sitting, and the one is right on the button. Getting to her rock to move it up is not simple.
Matsumura, Shimizu, Ichikawa calling line. Got to get it by that guard first. And she'll crash in front and spin away, and it's going to be a steal of 2. Homan, steal of 2, North America.
I don't know if we said high five on a miss.
Rachel Homan needed a big shot here to get herself out of some trouble.
5-6 inches of negative ice, but she knows a release. She's been doing it forever. Lots of rotation, throws it like a laser, rolls it absolutely perfect, and takes a potential -2 to a +2 and a steal.
Final draw by Satsuki Fujisawa. Crashes in front, steal 2, and so it is Rachel Homan leading 5-2. As we go to the 6th, and it will be Fujisawa from Kurosawa, Japan, that does have the last rock, playing the red stones. 21-year-old Chiaki Matsumura.
Well, the first problem is you're down. The second problem is it's the 6th end. The final problem is you're playing Rachel Homan in a team that hits so beautifully. That's not going to help the corner guard coming in, but it was going to be difficult anyways with the ability of Rachel's team to play a defensive style game.
Yep, up normal. Clean. Yep.
Need to ask you, Russ, Linda, about just what Russ said about, you know, it's Rachel Homan. She takes the negative ice and still makes the shot. And playing it forever when you're 24, of course, but she started when she was about 8. Why wouldn't somebody have tried to correct her by now? Or would you not fool with that?
It's not a correction, it's a plan. So she plans to throw it straight. And actually, we used to chuckle in the old days when we had straight ice. We tried to throw 3 releases. We tried to throw a straight one, an outside in one more often than not, because that would get curl, and occasionally an inside out one if you wanted to hold it straight on a run back or a peel. And if you can control that kind of release and play with it a bit, that's a wonderful weapon in every category. For Rachel, they use it quite often on those hits where they want it to go straight through a port, get a run back, make a double, and it's a great weapon.
It certainly is. And there's pluses and minuses. You look at Bingyi Wang, and same situation. That she'll take 15 inches more ice on that particular shot because she softens it, works it in from the outside to the inside, gets tremendous curl. She's a world champion, so it's 2 different ways to approach it. I believe that Rachel's a better hitter because of that system. It's a little tougher to play a come-around tap-back maybe. In the case of Bingyi Wang, she can play the come-around tap-back better than anybody, but she maybe can't hit quite as well. So it's just pick your poison, I guess.
One update, the game that we started with, Jennifer Jones of stealing the 8 points as they play in the 5th. And looking like she's sitting 2, Margareta Sigfridsson. And the final stone by Maria Pritz. Coming through the hole, has to get to that shot stone, which is T-line, edge of the button. And Pritz has had absolutely no feel so far. But that's a lovely shot to get the single, and they're on the board. 8-1, Jones leading.
As as you can.
Aim for a quarter.
Quarter works. Okay.
Easiest way to remove this red one would be hit it dead on right through the uprights, but then you leave a corner guard. So it just has to be a thin peel.
Clean. That's pretty thin.
Nice shot, Emily. That was great. It's a thin shot. I have your gripper now.
Rachel really changed things in curling last year with the way she approaches it. They are a very good defensive team, and that includes what is really called a soft clearing shot, the tick, or the wiggle as we called it last year when she made something like 8 out of 9 in the Scotties final. But it's a really different approach, and we talked earlier about Jennifer Jones' team, Jill Officer, the upweight ability, what that brought to the team, how that changes and raises the benchmark in women's curling. Well, Rachel did it with last year's approach tactically using the tick. And I'm going to be interested again this year to see how many times that is copied.
Yeah, I don't know, huh? It hasn't been so far. Checking in on Nicholas Aden and John Schuster. And Sebastian Krupp there, I'm not quite sure if there's anything behind him. It certainly looks like Schuster is putting more pressure on Nicholas Aden, the reigning world champion, who will be representing Sweden in Sochi. By the guard, run them backs, and yeah, nice shot. Brings 2 into play, that one and that one at the back. 2 for Aden, and he leads 6-2.
It's another team you don't want to fall behind, 6-2. That's going to be a tall order for Schuster.
We talk about when mistakes happen, and let's just think back in this end to the very first stone for Fujisawa, the lead that threw the corner guard into the rings. And I'm a strong believer, as you guys know, in mental skills. And when you have a bad end, as unfortunately this team did last end, where they gave up a steal, sometimes it's up to the team to have an extra moment to settle down. And that first stone of the next end is so key. You have to talk about it. You have to make sure the lead is clear. Where's the range? We can brush it. All those messages to make sure it's in position, because that rock dictates this end. Guard comes in, this team is in trouble.
Okay. Here's a move here, Allie.
Stayed pretty straight.
Half rock or less will clear that yellow. The thrown rock might come over and hit the one in the 4-foot area.
Playing third stones, Emma miscue. Gets nothing.
If there is a good side for Rachel, she is sitting 2. The rocks are even. At this moment, there isn't a double.
Just different than Allie.
Just a different release, you can hear them say.
Tough situation for the Japanese team. The tap freeze, I think, is the right call, but it's so difficult with this much curl. And you over curl, your thrown rock isn't even going to be in play.
You could try a freeze on shot stone. Hope a mistake happens, something comes towards the other yellow, and you can get at it differently.
センターフリーズしても微妙だよ。
ロールかレイズか。レイズでいいと思うよ。レイズで。8、9ぐらいでいいよ。
Been to Japan enough that when you say raise it, it translates to raise it.
We appreciate that input.
Thanks, thanks for just throwing that out there. I didn't think you'd caught it. It's all about line here. This is the tough part.
Well, I have to assume that was plan B. She didn't think it was going to raise, so she tried to hit it a little thinner, but leaves that rock wide open.
I would think Rachel will roll out here, Linda. You don't really need to be grouping it. It's tough to get both yellows this late in the end.
Yeah, there's no need for another one, you're right.
How much? Control. Okay. Little roll Allie's way? Yeah.
Oh,
They are saving it.
Interesting.
Trying to roll to the center line side. And this is a different release. This is the in turn.
Rachel Homan in her first as we play here in 6. That steal of 2 in the 5th. Put them in front 5-2.
Roll it a bit, Lise. Whoa. That's good.
It's good.
That's fine.
See.
Good call,
She
right?
wants to go sideways.
A little heavy.
Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Like you hit pretty thick and rolled like jumped right over. Yeah, that was pretty lovely. Yeah. Add rotation so it carries.
One of the hardest things to teach is strategy, don't you think, Russ? And that's one thing when we see a team like this stall on the call, as I say. It's because they have so much in their head and they're not sure which way to go. And Most of the time, I try to encourage people to pick a shot. If you have a feeling about a shot, if there's two options and one you're leaning towards, most of the time it comes down to which one will you execute the best. Because standing there usually starts to plant doubt, and it's not helping the process of making the shot.
Great point. And I find with the younger teams, you've got the clocks involved here, so you take forever to decide, should I do this, should I do that, should I do that, and then when you make the decision, the broom goes in the wrong spot because you haven't had time to, you want to rush down and gain that time back, and it's like you say, it really doesn't, well, in this case, doesn't matter too much, it just has to be made perfect.
All right, so what the goal here is to get hopefully a deuce. What's the best shot to potentially get that, Linda?
Well, there's the two options. There's the play they're talking about, coming to the wings, Vic, and playing towards the 12-foot, trying to get an angle freeze. They did at one point look at hitting shot stone and rolling towards the Yellowstone at the back of the 12-foot, which also would provide protection. In this case, when you're down, normally you opt to a draw, which is a little more precise way of getting a rock in position.
Has to be second shot here, though, or Rachel will just cap that perfect rock on the pin.
Satsuki Fujisawa is 22 years of age. Second shot, corner frozen.
To release the back? Well, you just, as long as you're to it, it's fine. You just have to tap it. There's no double. As long as you're on the top of it.
Because of the score, I love this situation with Rachel.
You need to be on T-line or release the back, eh? Yeah. I don't think we can be in between. With
her hitting ability, she could actually blast that out of there. There's no question about it. But what if you're a little bit narrow, you tick that one out that way, your thrown rock goes this way, then that would give the Japanese team a really realistic chance to score 3 points by playing that double and sticking it there and bringing that top rock into play. So why play it with a 3-point lead? Lob this in there, do the exact same shot that was just thrown, sit two, and you really have a force on.
Touch on this lower side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Satsuki froze to the rock behind the tee line as opposed to the one on the tee line, that does mean that Rachel can come in a couple of different places and still be in a good spot to sit to.
Pretty good. Nice.
A little lighter than that?
T-line. Really good. Where?
T-line.
Line's really good. Yep, a little bit. Yep.
Hard line. T-line.
Whoa. Clean.
Just behind T.
Yep. Keep it hard.
Go, Allie. Nice shot.
Well done. Great judgment from Allison Kreviasik and Lisa Weigel.
Lost the line.
Perfect judgment. And again, I'm impressed with the call. I don't think Rachel would have done that a couple years ago. She would have blasted that out of there and, again, risk a little bit of danger, a potential 3. Just walked that in beautifully. This team at such a young age, they do a wonderful job of judging.
Do you think she can make this double and maybe push this stone through that hole and get a deuce?
Not a lot of teams could make this shot because it requires incredible weight, some speed here, but I think she can. I think she can throw it hard enough to make this. It's tough, though. It's extremely tough. By playing, in this case, an intern for the right-handed curler, hitting the high side, you'll get more action, more spin, but you have to hit it a little thicker than you would with the out turn. 3/4 peel weight.
Final stone. Right now it is Rachel Homan sitting the 2. Shimizu. Matsumura. Ichikawa calling line over and across, and no, it'll be just the single. 1 point for Fujisawa. Getting a little closer, but Homan continues to lead at 5-3. Scotiabank Wednesday night hockey continues next week with the Canadiens heading to Pittsburgh to play the Penguins. Coverage gets underway 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TSN. Pittsburgh leading that Eastern Conference. Montreal coming off an overtime win last night against Ottawa. Well, Team World leading there 7-2. Nicholas Aden against John Schuster. And a single for North America, Jennifer Jones, 9-1 now ahead of Margareta Sigfridsson. Thank you. Remembering, of course, as we welcome you back to the Orleans Arena on this Friday morning, Day 2 Continental Cup. Each of these games is worth 1 point in the race to 30.5 to win the Continental Cup. Team North America coming in with a 6-3 lead. So Team World picks up 1. Satsuki Fujisawa. 5-3. Rachel Homan leads, and it will be Homan that does have the last rock, playing the Yellowstones here in 7. I was busy doing something else. Did they pitch that first Weagle Stone to the boards?
They did.
Okay, so that's why it's at the bumper. So up go the 2 center line guards from Fujisawa, and now this is stone number 2 for the Homan lead, Lisa Weagle. Thanks, Linda.
Breaking.
So a little bit of a surprise, not playing any ticks. Throw the first one through, now play the come around, looking for top 4.
And right to the lid. One of the things that we were talking about during the break is that in many respects, the same kind of thing that we saw with Bingyu Wang in her early days and the Chinese curlers. Great form, wonderful balance, can deliver the stone, strategies coming, but what's letting them down sometimes is the line calls.
Yeah, great point, Vic. I think they thought they'd made that, and she was extremely close, and what a wonderful throw with that much speed and lots of rotation. But when you're curling into a rock, you get a lower angle coming off the rock you're hitting. And if she'd hit it in the exact same spot with the other turn, it would have bounced across higher. She played the right turn because it was the turn that gave you the most action. But knowing those angles, it takes time, and you have to practice it. If you're a young skip, just get out there and throw rocks, even if you throw them from the hog line, and work on your angles, and just any more curl, and that was made for two.
We talk about knowing how rocks deflect too. When you're coming into the stone like that, stays with the same turn. That's why the angles are the way they are and the action is the way they are. If you play the other turn and cross the stone, it changes turn. So that's why you have a different kind of angle. So you have to go out and push the rocks around. A straight raise, if you're trying to raise a rock into the rings, also changes turn. Understand what that means to making the shot.
We talk about the technique all the time, and this Japanese is really good. But in this case, look at the broom arm. It's back too far. Now you overextend. The left shoulder's too high, the right shoulder's too low. That's what I call overextension. And it's really hard not to turn that out turn in or float the in turn wide in that position. And also, Linda, hard to keep the balance when the shoulders are like that.
Now she had the foot over to take a little bit too, go a little past the center of gravity. And it's interesting because over the years you watch these top players and we have what we call improvisation. It's when they have played for so long, a little wobble there from Allison, they come up with their own little way of making a technique work for them. But in truth, the body parts, if they stay square and simple, that's the best way to throw a curling stone.
We're seeing more and more players, I'm thinking of David Nedowin, for example, that use that little device, and there's a number of names for it, the little sort of, I don't
It's
know.
a balance device.
A balance device, rather than a broom. Do you like that better, that keeps your shoulders square? Do you like that?
It's an easier way to cheat a little bit, I guess is the way to do it. And the other way you see it now, too, with the John Morris or Brad Jacobs, they keep the broom hand on the ice, and it locks it in at that height. It keeps that left shoulder lower. And I think that makes it easier to keep the shoulders straight, too. But it's all about balance. And if the shoulders are crooked, you can't be balanced.
It's almost taking a little aspect of that Manitoba tuck that we see from the likes of John Mead or John's Jeff Stout, correct?
Yeah, good point. The tuckers keep the broom hand on the ice, and now you see a lot of the flat foot curlers doing the same thing, yes.
I think the key is probably similar to golf. I'm not a good golfer, Russ, but I think what happens when you have someone come out with you and try and teach you, they analyze what's best for you. It's like when somebody goes to buy a curling shoe and they're looking what slider to choose. Quite often they look for the cool shoe and a very fast slider, but that's not the best for everybody. So when you have your delivery analyzed by a good teacher, they'll help you decide what the best broom position is. Rachel's team keeping things open. That first stone played by Lisa Weigel. Still the shot stone on the button. You want it opened up?
Yeah. That quickly changes things. Emma Miskew.
5 years ago, there wouldn't be a women's team to even attempt that shot. And, I truly believe the Homan team is. Whoa. Don't think she touched it.
I think she's okay.
Well, it's the burnt rock we're worried about.
Nice. Hemi Shimizu. Very nice. And she has a smile about it. I'm okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Russ Howard, for your concern. I really appreciate that. Thanks.
Now we know what kind of skip you were.
That's right.
Get out
next
of the
time
way.
next time you come to the country, I don't want to be you.
They're 3 down. They needed a guard.
Did a little nice tuck and roll to get out of the way of that.
Well done, actually.
Yep. Welcome to Japan. Passport, please. Howard. Russ Howard. Bells will be going off. Sirens. He'll be just... Next thing we'll see on the next plane back.
It's real good if they can get it there.
Just a little shy, top edge of the 8. 5-3, Homan leads. What are the numbers like, Linda?
Well, Rachel also leads in numbers for the skip position, but interesting when you look at the types of shots. We came to this game a little late, but 9 draws and only 3 hits, in particular for Rachel, who often plays that hit and roll kind of game. Great numbers for both, though.
Player numbers brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
That one is the out-turn float release. It's very straight, nice pick.
She really knows where that rock's going. It's impressive.
Good. Nice throw. Thanks.
Nicholas Aden playing the Redstones and sitting 2. John Schuster from Duluth, Minnesota, the U.S. representative in Sochi. Will face those with his last rock draw.
Sorry, guys.
Little light out of the hand.
Okay.
Jared Zezel, John Landsteiner on the brush. Jeff Isaacson calling the line. Second straight trip to the Olympics. In fact, it'll be a 3rd straight going back to 06. 6-10 now, 14 for Schuster. Gets his single 7-3. Nicholas Aden leading.
It's a very tough position now after that wonderful shot by Emma Miskew, getting everything moving and leaving only their 1 stone in the house.
I don't think it's gonna
desperately needed to steal, desperately needed those front stones, and away they went.
Heel. Yep. Clean.
And out the side for the blank here in 7. Rachel Homan, Team North America, in control in Las Vegas. Flying high over Las Vegas. We're here for the Continental Cup, day 2. And of course, if you go to Las Vegas, you have to try a buffet, which leads us to be prepared to be inspired as Canada's best home cooks go head-to-head. It's MasterChef Canada, premiering Monday at 8, 7 Central on CTV. Coming up later today will be the singles competition. Yet to be determined.
A smorgasbord of curling today.
Yes. Very nice. Very good.
Okay, it's probably a little extra.
The blank in 7 means that Rachel Homan will once again have the last rock. She'll have the hammer playing the yellow stones, leading 5-3. All the games on the ice worth 1 point in the race to 30.5 for the Continental Cup.
And that was the attempted tick. That was a lot of weight, a lot more than we saw last year. So I think it was a tick, but I don't want to take too many chances with it. Don't want to leave a shooter around. And it does miss, so a second guard will be positioned by Satsuki.
Great point, Linda. If you make the tick with soft weight, which Lisa's famous for, that's why she's so good at it, you leave both rocks in play. And why do that with a 2-point lead and last stone? Smart call with the weight control. Unfortunately, it's just a hair too much and missed it.
So the 2 center line guards go up from Emi Shimizu. Why do you think it is, Linda? I mean, we see things sort of take off. Remember, it was the Furby team that first did the zones, right? 1, 2, 3. We'll put it to 7, or whatever, what case may be. Why has this Weagle, this little tick shot, not maybe taken off more? And then she'll play that really not necessarily in the last end. They'll play it anywhere in a game.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think people don't practice it. It's similar even to the Jill Officer up weight shot. People don't practice it, so then you cannot bring it into suddenly a competition. Why they don't practice it, I'm not sure, because we've actually seen it for many years at the world level from, for example, European teams. I can remember back to a World Championship, Kevin Martin playing in '97, Vic, and he played Pea Lindholm, and Pea played it relatively early in the game, and it ended up being very successful. So I think it's a great weapon. You do have to practice it. You have to practice it as much as an open draw or an open hit if you're a lead. It has to become a part of your routine.
If you have rocks that aren't as lively, or you have slower ice conditions, which most clubs have compared to this type of surface, it's harder too. So maybe what happens is you go back to your club, you try it, because of the conditions you're not successful, and they just give up on it. But on this type of surface, if you can keep that weight down, back 8, back 12, back line, you can make that shot a lot.
This is half, 3/4.
3/4?
Yeah.
I like this better.
Yeah.
Long red onto the corner yellow with the out turn.
Allison Kreviazuk.
Yep.
Oh.
Real good, Allie.
So again, 3 times we'll be with you today with these team matches, all of them worth a single point. And then later today, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, it's the singles. 6 points available there. Then tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, we're back with more team play from the Continental Cup here in Las Vegas.
Such a long guard left out in front for the Homan team. It's really no value. Really, you can get around there and get that pretty easy.
I think Japan was trying to draw around the yellow guard and get a red guard in a better spot, but that one slid in and thus didn't curl as much, having the extra weight. It stayed a little more open, so it is available.
Yep.
Thin double.
I don't have anything.
floated it out.
Nothing.
Now that's a junior error there, and I don't mean junior because they're young. Just it's not a thought out error. Tick the guard, then that red rock would be wide open. Little chance here now.
The trick is the fact that they're down 2, and steals of 2 are very difficult. Rachel has shown us in this game she's drawing well if she needs to make a shot like that to save the end, but definitely a chance now if you can get a rock out in front.
Have to get it by.
We have our first final of this morning team draw, and Nicholas Aden bounces back after losing to Brad Jacobs last night to pick up a 7-3 win over John Schuster from Duluth, Minnesota. So that's a point for Team World. And another final. And Jennifer Jones, an impressive win for her, make the final 9-3. After losing badly yesterday to Eve Muirhead, so they split the first 2 points. That's a point for Team North America.
I actually thought they might peel the red one into the red one on the tee line, for example, and make sure the shooter rolls away, because the yellow guard wasn't all that useful.
And now it is, isn't it? Yeah, that didn't. That was dangerous because it's now guarding more of that red one than before. You're right. You peel it the other way, you might get one in the rings also, and then there wouldn't be any center guard. What a great opportunity here to sit 3. You can bury this one. I don't know what Rachel will do, but if she decides to peel a yellow guard, you can bury again and have 2 in the 4-foot.
Have to go on this one to get it by. Just a little light.
Just a little rub as well. Emma Miscue finish up the 3rd stone here in this 8th. She'll leave the shooter right out in front, center line.
Boy, sloppy finish to the game here for the Homan team. They were unbelievable for 7 ends.
Congratulations from the bench on a Jones win.
This one you have to get by. You have to get in a pretty good position in the 4-foot to put that extra pressure on Rachel.
Satsuki Fujisawa with her first. Wow, all the way through.
That's too bad because even short would be a usable stone.
Can you see all of it?
Oh, you'd ever made that top 4 foot.
If we hit nose,
Rachel has to possibly peel a guard. You go in again, and you had an extremely good chance of getting 2, maybe more.
You don't have a heck of a lot of that one. Yeah, well, we were going to run it or do this.
Yeah, I like this.
Okay, let's do it.
And here's the difference. The fact there is a 2-point spread in this game. If it was just a single point, you'd probably see Rachel peel the guard or try to get the front opened up a little bit. But if you hit this in our shot rock, Japan has to come after it.
The pressure level, all of a sudden, it's, you know, if you make this go away, the most you're drawing against is 2, and you can't lose the game unless it's in an extra end.
Yeah. How much reach?
Control. Okay. It's not going crazy with the boards anymore.
Rachel Homan in her first.
Yep. Control.
Reminder that if it is tied, there are no extra ends. We'll just split the points, each team taking half. And there's the roll to sit for shot stone. Edge of the 4.
Did you pass, eh? Yeah. You know your weight there.
Nice little message from Allison on the way by. If this is made, you just have to get second shot. So a draw anywhere to the full 12, close to the 8 would be fine. So just talking about the ice and saying how Rachel has had her draw weight, which she has in this game.
Quite a bit of ice taken here to get the inside half. Must be just not much more than hack weight to make this roll.
Final stone for Suzuki Fujisawa. Down by 2. And there's a little bit of a flip. Sits full in the 4, T-line.
Do you want to hit it out? How much can you see, guys? You've thrown the intern draw some times. I'd be scared about the line here. How much can you see?
You're missing a piece, like an 8.
Okay, see most of it. That's really control.
I don't think we need to throw that much. Just board. She just threw hack and barely moved.
Okay.
4?
Yeah.
Okay, let's chat just a little bit about who Rachel Homan is and what she likes to play. Emma Miskew presented the fact that, look, you just have to get to the 8 foot. We know the draw. Is this what Rachel likes to play?
Yeah, great point, Vic. It's what it's all about here. It's her go-to shot. She's one of the best hitters in the game, absolutely, for sure. Not that she couldn't draw the 8 foot, but this is a better feel shot for her. My only concern, Linda, is the weight. Soft weight. If you ever tick the top one, it stays in the rings.
Weight's up. Oh, no.
So final stone here. She leads by
Real solid,
2 and needs to catch something here. Needs to move, and Krivjasic and Weigel have just backed right off here. This is the shot she wanted to play here, and by it goes. Rachel Homan will flash her last one. It'll be a steal of 2 for Fujisawa. It ends in a 5-5 tie. That's our first split. And each team will get a 1.5 point. So 7.5 to 4.5 in the race to 30.5. That completes a Friday morning here in Las Vegas.